Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. I, 29F, believe my husband, 34 meters, is cheating and need help knowing if I should end our 6-year marriage. New. I don't want to give up on my relationship, but I think I'm going to have to. My husband cheated on me in 2018 after 3 years of marriage. He swore up and down he wasn't cheating until we got into such a big fight, he left. He almost immediately started dating a girl he worked with. He was gone for a month but still technically lived in the house. I found out I was pregnant and so did he. I did not tell him. Him finding out was an accident. He confirmed he had been cheating and begged me to take him back. We went to therapy and things felt better, although anytime we would argue, I would bring up the cheating, my fault. I ended up losing our baby, but our relationship continued improving. We moved in 2019 across the country to be closer to his parents. I do not have any family or friends here. Things have been good financially and otherwise. We still have small arguments and I will sometimes bring that up when we're arguing. Again, I know, my fault. Last week, he told me he was invited to the bar but that he didn't want to go. This is not something we normally do, but was something he did when he was cheating. I told him I would have been fine with it but didn't understand because bars close here before he gets off work. It turned into an argument. The day after the argument, I asked him if I had anything to worry about and it blew up. He screamed at me saying I was accusing him of cheating. I wasn't, but that raised red flags and I asked him. He told me today that if I bring it up again, he's done. Today, he also told me if he wanted to cheat, he could have. Then, he said the ball is in my court, and if I can't stop, then I need to go. I said I can and I want to and he said guarantee you won't. During this argument, he told me he wouldn't go to therapy again with me and that it was all my fault. When someone gives me an ultimatum, they're acting exactly how they did when they were having an affair before and they tell me they're going to leave. Should I really stay? I feel like he already has one foot out the door. Again, I have no friends here and no family. To leave, I would need to contact my mostly estranged mom and get help getting back to where I came from. I don't know if I'm just overthinking this, but I have a gut feeling that it's going to happen again and I just can't go through this again. I think I'm just trying to get some justification. Things went from decent to really bad in what seemed like overnight. I know I should leave. I can't trust him. I'm unhappy so far away from our old life. He isn't super nice to my daughter, not his, also, not like mean but like he gets upset if she has PMS or like over small things. I love him, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. I'm also scared because I'm what I consider old at 29 and am really obese and have anxiety and feel like I'll never find someone. I don't want to be alone, but I don't think this is the right thing either. Do I stay and keep trying with the risk that he will do it again? Or do I leave and try to start healing? I'm afraid to give up, but I feel like he already has. Editing to add, I'm almost 100% sure he is now. I went to take a bath to make myself feel better and there were many black pubic hairs all over the tub. He has only ever shaved that area when he was with his other girlfriend, and he also let me know that he was going to spend the night at work, not something he has ever done but not unreasonable. He works 1.5 hours away and they're expected to get 20 inches of snow tonight, but why would he need to shave that area for spending the night at work? I am very alone and very scared. I believe I am going to reach out to my mom, although that is scary too. TL, Dr. Husband cheated 3 years ago. I've struggled letting it go but believe he is cheating again. He has given me an ultimatum to stop talking about it. Should I just end it? Even if he wasn't cheating, although I personally think he sounds like a jerk. I hate using the term gaslighting, but it really sounds like that's what he's doing. He's arguing and blaming you and making it seem like it will be entirely your fault if you get divorced. It almost seems like he's pushing your buttons so that you can call it off and then he can be the victim. Yes, I think that is it. I have seen his parents gaslight each other, and I have seen him do it with his ex-wife. I don't have anything, everything is in his name, and that's part of why I'm scared, but I believe it's probably time to let go. I left a similar relationship. I'm also 29 and had to start from scratch after 9 years. It took me a good year and many red flags to muster up the courage to leave, but I did, and I'm fine. Heck, I'm happy. I am relieved. If I had to guess, I would say he's probably cheating or close to cheating. He brought it up in a totally unrelated argument, and screamed at you that he could cheat if he wanted. Plus the ultimatum that you can never bring up cheating again. All that is shady AF. Whether he's cheating or not, the way he's treating you is not okay. I know it's hard to feel like you won't find someone, but being on your own is better than being with someone who mistreats and disrespects you. You deserve kindness and consideration, and regardless of whether he's technically cheating at this moment, he's not being kind to you. I do get jealous, though, and I can be really rude. It's not like I'm totally innocent in all this or anything, but maybe those are just further indicators that this relationship sucks and I need to leave. That ultimatum is a pretty clear red flag. He broke your trust the first time, he lost any right to an ultimatum then. Even though it was 3 years ago. He wants me to completely forget about the past, and I know I should move on at some point, but I just started seeing the same behaviors and he's not sympathetic. He doesn't get to tell you when you are over it. Frankly, in far healthier reconciliation attempts than yours appears to have been, full reconciliation takes 2 to 5 years. And it sounds like there were not any consequences for his earlier affair. You have every right to confront him now. If he doesn't like that, you should toss him to the curb. The only question in my mind is whether you want to accumulate more evidence. Have you investigated his phone? Or if his current mistreatment of you is sufficient to you for action. When I have asked to look at his phone in the past, he blows up and says I don't trust him. He has always messaged many girls on Facebook and been like, hey, how are you, and I initially considered that cheating, but I'm not sure if it is. He gets mad and says that I don't want him to have friends when I say it bothers me. I have never asked him to stop. Putting this in words makes me realize what an idiot I sound like. We live in a state where you don't need a reason for divorce. I only do freelance work and make about $1,600 a month. He is the breadwinner, but we don't have kids together or anything, so I'm not sure how worth it would be to prove anything. I'm not sure if I want to confront him about the cheating because he said if I say it again, he's done, which I assume means leaving. I'm thinking at this point it would just be better to quietly prepare and move out when I can. Well, that behavior only confirms for me that he is cheating and has no remorse about it. And yes, if you need no further proof, I would advise you to prepare yourself financially. Leave at your first opportunity. Open an individual bank account immediately. Put all the funds into it that you can. Sort out your personal papers and valuables into an innocuous-looking bag in a handy spot he would not normally look in. Do you have any advice on how to handle the logistics? I think at this point, I've made up my mind that I'm just going to leave. But everything is in his name, both of the cars, the PayPal business account I get paid with, mine and my daughter's phones. My family lived 3,000 miles away, and I would like to go back there since I don't have any friends or family here. I mean literally, not a single person other than him and his family. I've called my mom and she is trying to find a flight, which terrifies me because she's a terminal cancer patient who I have had a rocky relationship with because of this move, but it's just all so messy, especially when I start to think about things like life insurance policies, in his name. from his work, and like how I'll keep my cell phone and taxes, and like I'd switch your freelance clients to a new account. Any that would give him a heads up, you do at the last day. The cars are assets to deal with in the divorce itself. Don't devalue yourself, none of this is your fault. 29 is still so young and you have a lot more life to live and to actually enjoy. Whether he is or not, he doesn't care about you the way you deserve. I think you need to have a conversation with yourself about what you need out of life. You will find someone who is head over heels for you, but not until you take that first step. He seemed head over heels, but I think it's because I was used to dating criminals and actual horrible people. He did a lot in the beginning, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think there might have been some red flags. I was raised without a dad and had a pretty rocky childhood, and I think I just settled, and that's why I got hurt with him. I'm worried for my daughter because she calls him dad, but I think she will be okay. He's a tiny bit mean to her sometimes, so maybe I should have done this long ago. But, I will say this, I'm not even going to consider another person until I have a lot of therapy. Leaving my husband for cheating again. Need support. I am not sure where to turn. I am a person living 3,000 miles away from friends and family. I do not have a single soul here other than my husband and my daughter. In late 2017, my husband had an affair. I knew he was having one, but he swore he wasn't. Things got to the point that he told me if I continued talking about it, he would leave. He did, and began dating a girl he worked with. Soon after, I found out I was pregnant. He came back, apologized, asked me to take him back, and admitted it was an affair. We went through some therapy and things were good. He asked me to move across the country in 2019 to be closer to his parents. I uprooted my daughter from a previous relationship and my entire life to move here. Things were good mostly, but I still sometimes brought up his affair when we would fight, not often. He would apologize and cry and move on. Since we've moved here, I work at home as a freelancer. I do everything for him, take care of the house and manage our accounts and make him nice lunches for work every single day. I also take care of his kids full time when they are here, summers and some holidays. Last week, he told me he was asked to go to a bar with some friends and didn't, but would like to sometime. It is not something that we usually do. I have also been asking him to help me make friends with some of his married co-workers. Again, I have nobody here, but instead he wanted to go out with people who were single. I told him that was okay, but asked for reassurance that he wasn't cheating again. He blew up. It turned into a fight and a promise that he wasn't, but his behavior has changed this week. He is constantly smiling at his phone and is very protective of it. He also has stepped outside to have conversations on the phone and claimed it was a friend from back home. Our sex is different. He doesn't kiss me or tell me when he makes it to work, and he has been distant. He told me today he would be staying at work because it's supposed to snow. He has not done this before and he works 1.5 hours away, so it is sort of reasonable. I asked him again if he was cheating and he said no, and that if I brought it up ever again, he would leave. He also told me it was depressing him and making him heartbroken, although he had never mentioned this before. He left for work and told me he guaranteed that I would not be able to not bring it up again, and that the ball was in my court on keeping our relationship alive. I told him I would like to try therapy again since he felt this way, and he said he didn't need therapy, and that I should go to it myself, which teeth I'm going to have to after this. When I went to get in the tub, I found pubic hairs all over the tub and in my razor. The only other time he shaved that was when he was having an affair. When I saw it, it felt like my chest ripped open. I made the decision that I'm leaving. Everything is in his name and I have nobody. I was estranged from my mom but just called her and she is flying out here. I'm not sure if this is the right place to post because I don't have solid proof that he's done it again. But I am like 99.9% sure, and I really need some support from internet strangers. Or friends. Or anyone. I've done this before, but not so far from home and with nobody to help me immediately. I'm not sure how I'm going to get through this night. My brain is on a loop and I'm shaking and I can't stop. I have work I need to get done, but I can't focus, and my daughter is on the phone with her cousin playing Roblox, but I don't know what I'm going to do when she gets off. But I know I need to start healing now and fast. How? You can be 1000% certain he is cheating again. All the signs are there, the history is there. It is important that you internalize this fact before being gaslit and mind-ducked by your cheater. At the same time, you need to get proof before you leave. Get into his phone/iPad/computer and screenshot the F out of every incriminating thing you can find. You'll want it later. Why do you say I'll want it later? Just genuinely curious. We live in a no-fault divorce state, and I planned on just slipping out after my mom gets here in a couple days and he's at work, then sending divorce papers from an attorney in a box which I'm quite sure he will sign. We do have shared bank accounts, but I am not on our phone bill or anything, and both of the cars are in his name. We don't own a home. We are not poor, but we were bad with finances, and I honestly don't think either one could afford an attorney other than a couple $100 one. I'm honestly just wanting to cut this off and move forward with my life because I am worried he will want to come back again and I will let him. Is there a benefit to having proof? Even though you are in a no-fault state, your spouse may not want the dirty laundry aired out in public, especially if it might affect his job. If you have proof of infidelity, that might make negotiations tip in your favor. And not all no-fault states are entirely no-fault. Your best bet is to talk to a lawyer ASAP to learn all your options, because your plan to just slip away, especially over state lines, with your daughter, is quite illegal, and will not be viewed favorably by a judge. All three of you have rights, and the courts will look more favorably on the party that is doing their best to recognize that. P.S. I'm assuming you live in the US. If not, your best bet to protect you and your daughter is still to talk to a lawyer first. This exactly. And, cheaters often engage in public smear campaigns against the betrayed. Could be social media, or giving one-sided accounts of events to mutual friends, family, etc. They'll only cop to what they have to, i.e. that which can be proven. If you're not comfortable with something being publicly lied about by your cheater, it behooves you to be prepared to discredit them. How would I get that info from him? I don't have any passwords to any of his accounts, and I don't know his phone password. Normally, I'd say hire a PI to follow him and get pictures of him. Bonus, the courts prefer an unbiased third party to gather incriminating evidence like this. Some require it to be a third party, but you say money is tight, so you could try putting a GPS tracker or a voice-activated recorder in his car. While it may not be admissible in court, it does provide that proof that could be used in divorce negotiations. But, as I've said before, talk to a lawyer first. My daughter isn't his, so I'm really not worried about that. I hadn't considered any of that other stuff, though. So I will try to talk to a lawyer. Doesn't seem like it here. Your approach is completely fine to ghost him. You don't have to relive the exact same scenario you've already lived with him. Your gut is always right. You know exactly what he's doing. I'd block him everywhere with no chance of contacting you, unless he has to contact you somehow, then just keep one form like email. In the meantime, research Grey Rock and implement it for the remaining 2 days you have to interact. No accusations of cheating. No questions on what he's doing. Just stone him completely if he tries to talk. I'm not even sure if he's coming home at all this weekend. They got like 8 inches of snow where he works, and he told me before he left he wouldn't try to drive in it if it's bad. I guess that's a good thing, so I don't have to interact, I guess. Implement the 182. Just completely stop caring at this point as best you can until you can figure out your escape. In the meantime, do things like set up your own bank account and such so you can be as prepared as possible. Good, you reached a good conclusion and you also reached out for help. Two very big, very important steps to everything. The things you can be doing now are formulating your exit strategy and strengthening your resolve. Do not go back on this decision because this is the right one for both yourself and your daughters. There are many problems you pointed out in the relationship, and the fact that he refuses therapy shows he's not interested in working on things, and that he can say that the ball is in your court after what he did means he's preparing or already working on gaslighting and blame tactics. You don't deserve that. Take a deep breath, calm down and try to think about how you're going to go forward. You're definitely not alone. You have a whole community of people here ready to support you. Thank you for that encouragement. After the ball is in your court, he actually said, you obviously don't want to be with me, so take the tax return money and you do you. I mean, I don't think that's normal. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.